This is Block 9, the Liberal Establishment, Section 5, the Cold War Beyond Vietnam, with the section Flexible Response. Eisenhower's main strategic argument had been the doctrine of massive retaliation, that the United States would not be threatened because the United States would respond to any threat with a massive retaliation, that war with the United States, that to prick the United States, that to attack the United States and to attack the interests of the United States would be met by a massive nuclear retaliation. That was kind of Eisenhower's policy. Kennedy disliked massive retaliation. He felt that it tied America's hands. Kennedy felt that under massive retaliation, you pretty much had two choices. Nuclear war, with our nuclear missile here, either nuclear war or national humiliation. That if the only possible way for the United States to act is to let the nukes fly, what if we're provoked about something that's important but not so important that we go to all-out nuclear war for it? Kennedy reasons that if the only options are do nothing or go to full-scale nuclear war, the enemy can prick you and poke you and test you and prod you, doing things that don't rise to the level of nuclear retaliation, but require some kind of response, that you can't be constantly poked all the time. You know, if somebody's poking you, the response is not to pull out a gun and shoot them, but you need some kind of, and then Kennedy called it, he said what the United States needs in this middle ground here, between nothing and full-scale nuclear war, the United States needs the ability to respond flexibly to different sorts of challenges. And it's an array, that flexible response turns into this vast array of military options, from very, very low-key all the way up to the steps leading up to nuclear war. On one hand, this gives the United States some room between humiliation and nuclear war, but it also makes it much more easy to commit troops to foreign battlefields. That if we have this flexible response, if a threat is along here, we'll send 5,000 troops. If a threat is kind of along here, we'll send 10,000 troops. If a threat is around here, we'll spend 20,000 troops and a fleet of bombers. If a threat is somewhere around here, we'll call up, the National Guard and, get all the tanks. But if the threat is over here, we can... It offers a flexible response, but it also provides the ability to commit more and more American troops to different conflicts around the globe, things that American troops would not be committed, things that the United States would not go to nuclear war for, but things that the United States consider to be somewhere in importance between not important and important enough to threaten to blow up the whole world over. And that's flexible response. And the flexible response, while it sounds good in a lot of ways, is going to be that thing that drags us into Vietnam. Vietnam is important enough not to do nothing, but I don't think any Americans consider Vietnam important enough to go full-scale nuclear war about. So Vietnam was done in little hips and little hops along the boundaries, the guidelines, the rubric of flexible response.